Hey there, friends. All right, welcome to this reading. There are already a few cards that came out. Some of them came out last night, and there was this revelation in the middle of the night that made its way today. In the dark, I have no idea. It was just laying in my floor. And the cards are put up in the storage area. But they're really, let me move that out of the way. They're really wanting to talk about the simplicity of things that are coming on in. We're talking what you could think to be relationships, but it is first and foremost the reuniting of Peaches and Herb, feeling so good with yourself. Because if you feel good from there, everything you do begets that. You have to have a tomato seed to get tomatoes. Do you see what I'm saying? So they're wanting you to get this juicy, thus the cow side is still here, this juicy, joyous connection with yourself of feeling whole, satisfied, fulfilled, complete. Even if they're moments, snippets, specks, those are seeds, okay, friend? So don't minimize the power of what is in that seed. If you haven't ever seen a tomato seed, you eat tomatoes, look at the little speck that's inside of there, okay? That makes that tomato plus many others, hundreds, tens, whatever it is. But it makes this mighty plant come out of the ground, not of its own, but that is the power contained within the seed. And the seed is the door to personal healing and happiness. That's what we're about at this channel, is busting open these gates where we get united, because all it takes is for two to agree. That's the power of witness. That's quantum physics. When something that exists but hasn't been witnessed yet, meaning it hasn't occurred, it hasn't happened, when it is witnessed, it now exists. It is now real. So that's what we do here at this channel. That's why it's called Joy to the World, because it's about your joy. That delights me. I am a Life Path 7, which means it's kind of like any of the people that come in that seem to live a very spiritual life. And I don't mean just, oh, I could literally ponder life and happenings and sociology and people and dynamics and culture all day long, because I love the weaving together that tapestry of love, of how unity and diversity, right? How we're all one race, we're all one people, we all have red blood as far as I know. But then there's the unique crayon box, right? The unique expressions. But anyways, we're getting on, we'll get into that, because there's that key that we talked about the other day, the gratitude showing up. And look at this portal that it opens up for you. It's almost like an inkwell where it says, write your own story. That's what it's like to be a creator. You no longer have to sit and wait around. That's why, you have all those other tarot channels. But here at this channel, I talk to you about who you are, the greatness in your seed, because you want to see who you are, correct? So we're getting in this divine relationship with ourselves, no longer just with our parents. That's already occurred, or siblings, or family, or work dynamics, or whatever else. We're getting into the truth of who we are. And Metatron is like, I like that. You've heard people, maybe if you've fished around this stuff before, about star seeds, star people, light workers, da-da-da-da-da. But the essence is of you, it's creation. It's the birthing of stars. It's the plasma, which is the expansion and contraction all together. You might have even heard them talk about the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction that occurred, I think, December 21st, 2020. Thus really settling in the shakeup and the whole turn of the world. To where we are one world community. And I'm not talking dollars, and I'm not talking government. I am talking self. Okay, people, that when I do what is of true benefit to myself, true to my desires and my design, it's going to benefit a shockwave ripple through the whole world, because it is of universal truth. Uni, meaning multi of the one, okay? So that's flashing up in this door to personal healing and happiness. And it talks about in between we form the bonds. Ooh, look at that iteration. See that movement going on there? So there's something crossing in here, and it says in between we form the bonds. That's why they're wanting you to simplify. We've been going through the Pluto era of moving through Capricorn, where it was about, gathering things, figuring out biggering DIY, while we all need to have stuff in our house like the multi-mega $1-million movie stars have, and need to have the highest name brand clothing and all that type of thing, somehow about gathering these things up. And it's not that you're crazy, those are the energies just going on. All right, so they're just talking shed it, leave it behind, because Aquarius has to do with that phase of imagining it, dreaming it, and drawing it in. Very much like a child, when it just used to innately and naturally happen, often when there were quiet spots during the day, when there was a really interesting sky and you lay down on a patch of grass, or when you're getting in bed at night, right? Sometimes around the dinner table. Those are the things that are going to percolate in you now. And that means children don't look a lot at possessing. So even me, they're having me return some of the gifts of nature back to nature. Like I find intriguing things from shark vertebrae to mermaids' purses, which are little shark eggs, to these dazzling shells and these interesting rocks and crystals and things that come along, or feathers too. And like, time for a lot of this to go back. Time for it to go back. Now you just see and you behold. You see and it is recorded. Think of it a lot like your phone, or a lot like technology or your cloud, right? Or whatever storage, accessory storage you have for information, bits, bytes, codes, photos, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Well, so they're saying the same with us also. This innate, inherent intelligence that is inside of us, the uniting of the eyes. If you want to know a lot about the eyes, you can check out any Scorpio reading on our channel. It may not directly speak of it, but it is implied throughout the whole thing. And it's about taking it away from just being the third eye, where it's this triangulation of trying to map and, figure out past, present, and future, and to predict and that type of thing, to keep a sense of control, security, safety, to protect the heart, to where it truly aligns up and down our spine, and we are in our divine creation, our divine nature. Our divine nature is happiness, and happiness does not betray us. Happiness is the sensation of cells being healthy, active, and alive. This is a lot of what happiness looks like to me, okay? It is this, and see, look, that third eye is almost like blown wide open, where it is like a syringe pulling in all this energy in through all those systems, because then it synergizes. Just like the other day, we were talking about photosynthesis with plants. They take in the information of the sun, like the sun is a star, this beautiful brilliance we have going on here, and you have it come on in nice and tight, and it sits there cellularly until the nighttime comes, the resting phase, the reflecting phase, the requesting phase, okay, which is when we travel back over it. That's like the DNA helix. If my arms could do it, I would do it. You get what I'm saying? It's forwards and backwards, and we don't have to worry about the future and the past. We get to be in the now, because it creates that central channel where what? In between. All the bonds are formed. AGCT, is that correct? In genetics. The four little things put in a multitude of combinations makes this whole crayon box that we are the world, all right? We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Yeah. Giving of ourselves. And that's what he is here to talk about. Is that Shamuel? Yeah. Shamuel's talking about our solar ray, which is really being in the center of ourself. More than just our confidence, it is our self-assurance, that knowingness that feels like it's in the fiber of our beings. It's beyond confidence. It transcends all things. And it comes into not things that you've exactly experienced, but knowing the principles of life, knowing the centrality of life, knowing the truth, and watching how that continues to progress things in a spherical manner. All right, so with that, let's get in here and see. Oh, yeah, there's a message on the back. Okay, so for many of you, we're getting into the Big Dipper effect now. So things that have been being sown over the last 6 months are coming to fruition now. They're going to be put on your table, put on your feet, put in your bank account, put in your children's mouths. They're going to be putting crowns on your heads, songs in your mouth, ideas in your mind. All right, poetry in your hand. So it's coming about now. That's why they want us to breathe, to reflect, to connect with ourselves. That's the reflection, because it is required to bring this homeostatic balance, to create those bonds that are in, they're in between the poles of the DNA, all right? The spirals of the DNA, and they come together to make you uniquely you. So it says attitude is everything, right? Now opening the gateway. Needing to emphasize the separation in order to display the light. All right. So it's not separation like disconnected. Do you see this? Separation. it is that space in between, like the parallels of the railroad tracks, so that something can be carried down it without the precariousness. Like an ice skater, you don't see somebody skating around on just one skate. Slalom ice skating, right? They have the two poles, they have the parallels, just like the train tracks and just like the spirals of the DNA helix, okay? So that the information can be contained on the space in between. The connections are what is valuable here, and it's connections, okay, not attachments. That would be things piggybacking on it, kind of like fleas on a dog, all right? Let's see what else we have it saying here. Words matter because whether words matter, they become real always, whether we know it or not. And that "know" is in quotes, because there's a lot of subconscious knowing, mean you know, but you sweep it under the rug, you know, but you dismiss it, you excuse it, you permit it, you tolerate it, you aggravate it, you whatever. All right. Ooh, and they're saying time to collaborate. Genius. This brings in a home. And that's what I was saying here again. Home. Now, mind you, this car was just grabbed out of a stack. They said, reach in there, pull, and I'll tell you when you have the one. I couldn't look. They just told me when I had it. And this is from November 9th of 2022. Okay. And it was 11:22 when I said that. Anyways, it's coming all along the avenue, like ease on down the road, right? The avenue of delight from the inside out. And it says, somebody loves me. So that means it has to do with change. Change, we could see it as challenge or conflict if depending on the level of the attitude. It's just change. If we set our attitude, remember, attitude is everything. That puts it on the ease, on the track, just like that DNA helix, and it lets your energy inside yourself express itself. All right. Now, if we want to see it as challenge, we're going to have some broken ones, and we're going to kind of be playing Donkey Kong or Mario Brothers and think, oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is fun. That's great. Good for you. 1212. If you have all that excess energy that you want to be spending on things like this, but being that I've been through quite a few things and I've lived long enough, like I want my savings to go towards my desires and my dreams, not just my entertainment of the moment. Okay. Now that's because I've learned it for myself. And I was like, I'm really tired of learning this. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to be blessed. I'm ready to experience the aha, the ooh, the wow, and seeing what comes along with the ease and the effort, because it affords me personally more space to have these opportunities and these experiences that I couldn't have created or imagined on my own. It's it being in that divine relationship with myself, that beautiful creation going on, that these happenstances and spontaneous events, serendipitous events occur. Okay. So thumb body, that's what it means, because the thumb brings it all together. It's what allows you for it to be brought in unto yourself. And ooh, Metatron be skirting all those stars on in, like gathering in, like you at the poker table, and you just rake it in the whole table. And you're not going to keep doing it. You've raked in the whole table, putting it in your pocket, and you're ready to leave. You're like, I'm done with all this noise. You want to know why? If you have been through a Saturn return, ages 26 through around 29, some life-shattering or life-altering event, if you survived and you're a Capricorn sun, Capricorn moon, you survived the last 16 years of Pluto being there, it's payback time. If you've had karma, your whole existence here, all right, being trapped to certain outcomes and things, like the black sheep of the family, the one you moving the family forward. All right, payback time. All right, so it's talking about getting back into the basics. All right, there's something written under here. For shadow indicates that there is a source of light. So while we're coming out of these, we might still see glimpses and shadows, or like now that my ex has been removed from the home, soon-to-be ex has been removed from the home, I still hear some energies and spirits moving around, and I've had to tell them to get out. Like mine are loving, warm, obvious, forward. His would hide in the walls, hide behind doors. And could I see them? No, that's the thing. They would be translucent, kind of like in the movie Predator. That thing when it's kind of like the gas vapors. That's very much what they were like. And I'm like, you're out of here. You do not get to stay. You're not going to feed off of my waters. I don't need any of your tests, trials, or tribulations, your challenges, or going even beyond challenges, getting into the conflict. I don't need that to find out who I am. I'd rather compliment. I'd rather connect. I'd rather commune and walk along this journey hand in hand willingly, because willingly means I'm going to see a whole different experience. Whole different experience. Whoa.
That was easy.
You got that right. Okay. So they really want me to get another pearl. So over this whole thing going on here, I'm going to move that up there. What would you like to say to us moving forward? What? Financial constraints and appreciation. All right. So financial constraints. If you're looking at this, you're going to keep getting them. You're looking at the empty cupboard. It is not empty. Hello. There are a couple of coins in there. This is a 13. This is the lucky number 13. Oh, now I know why I was out in the pool. That's what this hair is all about. Floating on my back, looking up the sky, reading the clouds, seeing what they're saying, bringing in the message, okay? For those of you who are born with Jupiter in Pisces, or now that Jupiter is in Pisces and it's landing there, not just like cosmically, but astrologically. Okay, it's landing there and it's becoming the replacement of Neptune. Neptune's kind of like getting booted out. It does better upside down. But Pisces, man, it can cloud and murk that water that you don't know what's just the other speck on the other side of you, okay? Kind of like those predator things creeping in the walls. But you get into here, the lucky number 13, that is Ophiuchus, the 13th zodiac. It's this little window and this little sliver where we go from being stuck on a track round and round and round, going through the same lessons, same tests, same conflicts, same whatever challenges. And we keep thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to master it. Well, really, the mastery is simply flowing. Getting into this caring connection, realizing you have nothing to prove, but you have plenty to experience. Life is meant for you to enjoy, for you to grow and develop. I don't know where life goes, hey, I really want to jack up this forest and make it really hard for it to grow. Everything in life has been keeping a balance till man started crossing oceans and carrying different plants and animals with it, and the checks and balances didn't necessarily come. Okay, so we're talking about switch the place. Get in the appreciation of this connection. Oh, 13, 14, 15. Yas. Look at that. It's all lining up, and guess what? It's doing it for you. I didn't even see that. Life will do it for you. It is doing it with you. That's why it can do it for you. Because you're coming along, you're holding hands, you're in agreement that yes, please, let's have this. Oh, I'm just noticing the middle row reiterates itself. Look at that. Onward and upward. So he's saying, let's get on with this, my friend. But anyways, Ophiuchus, the 13, is this little like fold or wrinkle in time where if you choose to go behind the curtain, you're out the little, the back door, the stage door, then you start realizing life starts spiraling and it starts traveling and you're moving in space and in place and time with life, which if you're moving with it, it does away with the effects of space and time. It does away with the effects of that Saturnian energy. It does away with the cosmic crackdown that has occurred for the last 16 years. All right. Anything else? They're just saying when you set your attitude, it really changes everything for you. That then you go, oh, goody, look what I found here. I found some special coins. Oh, and there's some old notes and recipes. Maybe I can print them out and I'll use these couple of coins to buy some ingredients, and friends might want to buy some of my bakery goods from me. And before you know it, you're, was it Sister Schubert? I'm telling you, or Mrs. Paul, I don't know. Okay, or Crumble Cookie, right? But anyways, there's light shining out from the dark. You're coming out from the dark. If that's what you want to see, that's what it will be. But if you don't want to see it, if you think you have to earn things here, especially if you're in North America, or especially in America, we return, if you earn it, it makes it yours, and then you can put up with whatever people say about you. Nowadays, if you just fly with
That was easy.
ease, you'll just almost fly under the radar. Nobody will notice you because they're like, that ain't nobody. I don't know how they did that. They just look like that, and they just this, and they don't have, and you're just like, you don't have time to worry about it because you're not attached to any of it, right? You're connected. So we're going to, I don't know if we're going to wrap it up, but yeah, we've got Raphael coming in. So now we have the heart chakra stepping in here and the thinking woman. This is you, man or woman, it doesn't matter. You're now reading what was inside, what you had saved for a rainy day. It doesn't have to rain. It's time to come on out. And remember when it talks about the shadows, they're evidence that there is a light source. You're that light source. You're not empty. You've spent it all. You've experienced it all. Now convert that experience into a reflection, into seeds, into something to share with the people around you. You may not know. They may have never experienced this, or they may have been thinking they were the only one experiencing it. So weave it together, bring it together, take action, write your book, my friend. Write your book. Don't you even worry about it. There is just the imagination. The envy isn't this person. It's that thing hanging around in that background trying to tell you what you're not. Just because the moment you step through here, that thing can't come. It's like the Wonka wash. It gets squeegeed off. Just squeege. Not to squeegee. All right, they want to leave that like that. Let me get another sip. And then we go hit a couple of tarot.
That was easy.
And we're going to tie this up in a pretty little bow. It's going to look like that. It's going to look tied, but really, it's connected. All right, affirmators tell us everything. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, this Eight of Cups, it's like walking away. This is turning away. It's like turning it off, tuning in, tuning it out, getting into the space where you're like, I'm going to receive all that I am. See the sun and the moon working together. That's fantastic. And there's the growth. There's that photosynthesis. These energies that are creating this commonality and this connection and this communication the whole time comes in cellularly when we sleep, when we tub, when we just sit quietly, when we look around, when we think of nothing, right? It's like a blank page, blank slate. Okay, so let's get a little shuffle on that. That's the thinking woman. It's not like this conjugating of verbs and words and whatever else and seeing what you can whip together. Is sitting there listening quietly, questioning certain things, and not questioning like cynicism or trying to find a hole in the plan, but the one that's trying to fill the hole. You're asking the questions, you're seeking the answer, and you're giving it time. You're emailing it out, remember? And when you take that time for yourself, you might hear bloop, bloop, and you're like, oh, because it comes in your own language. It is you. Okay, friends. See, that does away with this. That's more like desert and dryness. That's more like prickliness that comes from the environment that you came from. That you don't have to be that anymore. Head down, head in the ground, pretending that you're not something special. They said, don't even shuffle. Leave it with that. I'm like, you are something special. And you're coming out. Ask that in a Ross. 9 of Pentacles. But first, we got to wake you up. And we got to get you out of the briar patch. Look at that. You've been so trying to protect yourself that you hemmed yourself in, and action is calling to you, but it seems a world away. When really, remember, it was talking about the gateway, where there's a willing attitude, a connecting attitude, a divinity of knowing that there's part of you that knows something that you don't. You're willing to connect with it. There's an opening, and then and you're right there. Right there. Now, in my case, it's showing up as some 8 and 8th house is my part of fortune. Bringing it on in. It's all up in Leo too, and Venus rolling up in there. And it's like those of you who are all out of love. Oh, look at that. not for long. And this 10 of Pentacles is every form of wealth, fulfillment, satisfaction, soul satisfaction. You got your soul glow. Yes and amen. I absolutely love that. That's what Chamuel's here about. He's saying it's coming. It's coming. I've made a way. Give me your will, your willingness, your permission, and that makes
That
it.
was easy.
Bam. Metatron. Now you can see it raking in the table. Bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves. And it's perfect timing, regardless of when you're showing up. This is awakening. This the Cancerian flip. The tropical line of Capricorn and Cancer. We about to flip the script, baby. And that's a cool thing because look, this is the Hermit flipping that script. All right, look for you Jupiter in your chart. Maybe check out one of those reads. Go back in the channel. They are all timeless. And let me tell you, pow, I have friends who still go back and they're like, oh my God, that is right on time. And I'm like, thank you very much. So until then, leave your like, share, subscribe, share it with friends. Get this message out. Thumbs up, comments, and know that I love you. Bye. Oop. Bye.